are going to learn about controls overview. Let's see what it is. It can be argued argued that access controls are the heart of an information security program. Earlier in this course, we looked at security principles through foundation of risk management, governance, incident response, business continuity, and disasters recovery. But in the end, security all comes down to how can get access to organization assets, buildings, data, system, etc. And what can they do when they get access?
Access control are not just about restricting access to information systems and data, but also about allowing access. So, it is about the granting the approximate level of access to authorized personnel and process and denying access to unauthorized functions or individuals.
Access is based on three elements. The three elements are subjects, objects, rules. Let's see what are the subjects. A subject can be defined as any entity that requests access to your assets. The entity requesting access may be user, a client, a process or a program. For example, a subject is the initiator of a request for service. Therefore, a subject is referred to a active. A subject is a user, a process, a procedure, a client or a server, a program, a device such as an endpoint, workstation, smartphone, or rem- removable storage device with onboard firmware. Next is active. It initiates a request for access to resources or service services. And third one is request a service from a object. The last one is object have a level of clearness permission that related to its ability to successful access service or resources.
And the next is objects. By defining anything the subject attempts to access is refers to as an object. An object is a device, process, person, user, program, service, server, client, or other entity that responds to a request for service. Whereas a subject is active in that it indicates a request for a service. A object is passive in that it takes no action until called upon by a subject. When required, an object will respond to a request is received. And if the request is wrong, the response will probably not be what the subject really want either.
Note
So
that definition objects do not contain their own access control logic. Objects are passive, not active in access control terms, and most be protected from unauthorized access by some other layers of functionality in the system, such as integrated identity and access management system. An object has an owner, and the owner has the right to determine who or what should be allowed access to their object. Quite often the rules of accessing the recorded in a rule based or access control list. An object is a building, a computer, a file, a database, a printer or scanner, a server, a communication resource, a block of memory, an input output ports, a person, a software task, threads or procedures. Is any that provides server to a user. Is pursue. Fourth one is respond response to a request. And last one is may have the classification. The last one is rules. And access rules is an instruction developed to allow or deny access to an object by comparing the validate identity of the object to an access control list. One example of a rule is firewall access control list. By default, firewall deny access from any address to any address on any port. For a firewall to be useful, however, it needs more rules. A rules meant be added to allow access from inside network to the outside network. Here we are describing a rule that allows access to the object outside networks by object having the address inside network. In another example, when a user object attempts a access a file object, a rule validates the level of access, if any, the user should have to that file. To do this, the rule will contain or reference a set of attributes that define what level of access has been determined to be appropriate. A rule can, first one is compare multiple attributes to determine appropriate access. Second one is allow access to an object. Third one is define how much access is allowed. Fourth one is deny access to an object. And fifth one is apply time based access. This was all about three terms three terms or three elements of the control.